Success is not in what you have, but who you are. This timeless principle by Jim Rohn carries with it an extraordinary depth of wisdom that has transformed countless lives, because it shifts the very foundation of how we define success, challenging us to look beyond wealth, beyond possessions, beyond titles, and into the essence of character, growth, and contribution. When people first hear the word success, many imagine financial abundance, luxurious lifestyles, fame, or power. But Jim Rohn reminds us that these external markers are only surface-level expressions of achievement and do not necessarily define true success. After all, history and everyday life are full of examples of individuals who possessed wealth but lacked peace of mind, who accumulated possessions but had broken relationships, who achieved fame yet lived in quiet misery. Rohn's philosophy teaches us that the real measure of success is not how much we accumulate, but how much we evolve, not how much we possess, but how deeply we live, not the trophies we showcase, but the virtues we embody. True success lies in personal development, because wealth and recognition are temporary, while the strength of character, the depth of wisdom, and the integrity of one's spirit endure through every stage of life. Who you are, the person you are becoming, is the foundation on which everything else rests, and without it, no amount of possessions will bring lasting fulfillment. To understand this principle fully, one must begin by exploring the relationship between being and having. Most people chase after having, more money, better jobs, bigger houses, believing these will make them happy. But Rohn's wisdom teaches that being must precede having. In other words, to have more, you must first become more. If you seek wealth, you must develop the discipline, mindset, and skills that attract wealth. If you desire respect, you must become the type of person worthy of respect. If you want love, you must cultivate the qualities that invite love. The external is always a reflection of the internal, and no lasting success can be built without inner growth. In fact, one of Rohn's most famous teachings is that income seldom exceeds personal development, meaning the quality of your results will never surpass the quality of the person you are becoming. Success, therefore, is the natural fruit of cultivating discipline, character, perseverance, and wisdom. And these qualities cannot be purchased, but must be developed through effort, patience, and self-mastery. Imagine two individuals. One has a fortune but lives selfishly, mistreats others, and finds no peace. The other has modest means but lives with integrity, uplifts others, and experiences daily joy. Who is truly successful? The answer is clear. Success is not about comparing bank accounts, but about aligning your life with values that matter. Because money can buy comfort, but not character. It can buy pleasure, but not peace. It can buy recognition, but not respect. To live successfully is to live with purpose, to be driven by principles rather than possessions, to pursue growth rather than greed, and to measure one's life not by what is acquired, but by what is contributed. Rohn's insight encourages us to redefine our goals. Instead of asking, "What do I want to get?" ask, "Who do I want to become?" Instead of asking, "How much can I accumulate?" ask, "How much can I grow, give, and contribute?" This mental shift is powerful because it liberates us from the endless chase for external validation and grounds us in the pursuit of internal excellence. Life is unpredictable, and possessions can be lost overnight through crises, disasters, or economic downturns. But who you are, your mindset, your values, your resilience, remains intact and gives you the power to rebuild, to recover, to reinvent yourself. That is why Rohn emphasized that true wealth is not measured in dollars, but in the richness of the person you become. Consider discipline. It is invisible, yet it is the invisible force that builds health, creates wealth, and maintains relationships. Consider integrity. It cannot be displayed in a showcase, yet it determines how people trust and respect you. Consider wisdom. It cannot be held in your hand, yet it shapes every decision that leads to a meaningful life. These are the treasures of character, and they far outweigh material gains. Furthermore, success as who you are means embracing lifelong learning, because growth never stops. The moment you stop developing yourself, you start declining. Rohn often reminded his audience that formal education makes you a living, but self-education makes you a fortune. And self-education is not only about financial fortune, but also about the richness of mind, the depth of spirit, and the strength of character. Success in this sense is a journey of continuous self-improvement, where each challenge is seen not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. To become a person of true success, you must cultivate gratitude, because gratitude keeps the heart rich even when material possessions are scarce. You must cultivate humility, because humility opens the door to learning and growth. You must cultivate resilience, because resilience allows you to endure setbacks without losing faith. You must cultivate vision, because vision gives direction to your life. And above all, you must cultivate love and kindness, because at the end of life, people will not remember how much you had, but how you made them feel. In today's society, where social media and culture often glamorize wealth and possessions, Rohn's principle is more relevant than ever. It challenges the superficial definitions of success and calls us back to the core of human fulfillment: personal growth, contribution, and character. Think about it. If success were only about what you have, then the wealthiest people in the world would automatically be the happiest. But reality shows us otherwise. Many wealthy individuals still battle emptiness, depression, or broken relationships. On the other hand, countless stories exist of individuals with modest possessions who radiate joy, wisdom, and fulfillment because they have developed themselves into people of value, integrity, and inner wealth. Success as who you are also means measuring progress not against others, but against your own potential. It is not about competing with the world, but about striving to be a better version of yourself every day. Each act of discipline, each lesson learned, each value embraced, and each moment of kindness contributes to the person you are becoming, and that person is the true treasure of life. When you live by this principle, your definition of success becomes independent of external circumstances. You are successful not because of what you own, but because of who you are becoming. Not because of the applause of others, but because of the integrity you carry when no one is watching. And here lies the paradox. When you focus on becoming a better person, the external rewards often follow naturally: wealth, opportunities, recognition, because the world rewards value. And when you increase your value as a person, you attract more value in return. But even if external rewards are delayed, the internal rewards, peace, fulfillment, joy, are immediate and priceless. Thus, success is a state of being before it is a state of having. It is who you are, not what you have, that defines the quality of your life. In conclusion, Rohn's wisdom challenges us to rethink success not as a destination, but as a process of becoming. Not as accumulation, but as transformation. Not as possession, but as character. To live this principle means to take responsibility for your growth, to prioritize becoming over having, to cultivate discipline, integrity, gratitude, and wisdom, and to measure your life not by the things you leave behind, but by the legacy of who you became in the process. Success is not in what you have, but who you are, because what you have can be taken away, but who you are will guide you, sustain you, and inspire others long after possessions are gone.